All right, time, gentlemen, please. Can I have the last orders in here, please? Here, Mr. Glums, was you trying to catch my eye a little earlier on?
Well, not your eye specifically, Ted. I just flicked that bottle top in your general direction, you see. I wanted to attract your attention. I want to talk to you about your nephew, you know, the tar. The one what's a sailor.
Well, young George, yeah. Well, he's about the same age as your son, Ron, isn't he? Only very much brighter, of course.
I don't like the idea of you running down my son's mental capacities, you know, Ted. He's perfectly all right. He's got it all there, but he's like blotting paper, you know.
Blotting paper?
Yes, he soaks it all up, but he gets it all backwards. Give us another brown, will you, Ted? Thank you very much.
So, what do you want to talk to me about young George for, then?
Well, I don't know how to put it. It sounds silly, really, but in a manner of speaking, I want to borrow him.
Borrow him?
Yeah.
For?
Well, you see, I've got a father and son relationship problem of such complexity as would baffle even an eminent psychologist like the famous Sigmund Freud.
I won't try to hide my feelings. I'm bitterly disappointed. Here is the first job that you have ever actually been accepted for, and what do? You turn it down. You turn it down. Oh, I'm so blazing I could...
Well, you better ooh if it makes you feel better, eh?
This just brings to a crux something that has been boiling up for some time. Ron, at the risk of hurting your personal feelings, I just have to say this. You are... Do you know what immature means?
Oh, yes, Eth. It's when you don't get paid for doing it.
Immature? No, immature means not quite grown up yet. It means turning down that job because you'd have to live away from home and you couldn't keep running to your father with everything. Oh, Ron. Do you realise what you are? Still?
Unemployed?
Besides that, you are still just a daddy's boy.
Daddy's boy?
Sometime, Ron, you've got to break away. You've got to strike out on your own 2 feet. I mean, at the moment, can you show me one single thing that you do without asking your father to help you?
Yes, Eth. Give us a kiss.
Hello. Magic moments bouncing on the sofa. Ron, here, listen. Your mother's going down shopping and we want to buy you a new packet of cornflakes. Now then, which do you want, the marbles or the frontier soldier?
Leave it up to you, Dad.
I'll leave it up to you, Dad. Oh, Mr. Glum, when is your son ever going to think for himself?
Well, there's no sense in leading off like that. It's only a matter of, isn't it? A matter of cornflakes. I mean, last time we chose the one that gives away the marbles, he had them in his bowl and got milk and sugar over them before I noticed. Oh, that crunching sound will haunt me.
Make light of it. It's just because of this sort of thing that he's turned down that job at Warburton Brothers and Co.
And rightly so, rightly so. Why should a young lad like that sever himself from his dear old father just for something as ephemeral as mere employment?
Mr. Glum, I am going to take issue with you on this.
Issue?
And I'd rather not do it in front of Ron. So, Ron, beloved,
Yes, Eth?
will you excuse us?
Why, what have you done?
Will you leave your father and I alone for a few minutes?
Oh.
Is there anything you could do to occupy yourself with in the hall?
No, nothing really absorbing. There's not much to do in the... Oh, no. I know what I can do.
What?
I can lean up against the wall.
We'll call you when to come back, Ron. Well, now, Ethel, what is all this about? I mean, I sense an undercurrent. I know you're upset because Ron turned down that job at Warburton's, but for me personally, I'm very happy. I mean, imagine what it'd been like for me here without him. I'd have been miserable. I might have had to resort to talking to Mrs. Glum.
Well, that's all very well from your point of view. But what I want to say is this. You have got to free Ron to leave you and take that job.
What? Leave? You don't know what you're asking, Eth. I mean, you're wrong, you're exaggerating. I know Ron may be a little bit over fond of me, but that don't sap his initiative. He's perfectly capable of making up his own mind off his own bat any time he wants to.
Dad?
Yes, Ron?
I'd like to ask your advice.
What is it?
Which wall shall I lean against?
Your nephew, George. Now, you see, Eth and I have schemed up a little scheme for making Ron see me in a different light, and it all hinges on your nephew coming in and helping us. He's got to come in tomorrow afternoon in his sailor's uniform, and this is what I want him to do. As soon as I shall.
It's no use, Dad. I am not leaving. I'm staying here with you.
Oh, but Ron, you
No,
silly.
Eth. I don't think a son should be separated from his father, especially when they're related.
In that case, Ron, you forced me to reveal a secret which I had promised your dear mother I would never divulge. I am not your father.
Not. Of course you're my father. I can smell the beer from here.
I am not your father.
You are.
Ron, don't argue with your father when he says he's not your father.
No, this is serious. Let me tell you where you come from.
Oh, Dad. I know all about that. That shop in heaven.
Well, I'm telling you facts now. You are not my born son. You are not the progeny of my loins. We went out the door one night and there you was, on the doorstep. Do you realise what that makes you?
A milk bottle?
That makes you a nothing. You are not no relation to me and I'm not no relation to you at all. So there.
Now, has that changed your feelings towards Mr. Glum at all?
Suppose it has, Ed.
Would you like to ring up Warburton's now, seeing as how Mr. Glum is not your father?
He's not, is he, Ed?
No, Ron.
He's nothing at all to me, is he?
No, Ron.
And I'm nothing at all to him.
No, Ron.
Yet he brought me up as if I was his own son. Mr. Glum? I shall never leave you now.
Sit down and belt up.
Yes, Mr. Glum.
Well, Ron, you now force me to reveal the second part of my little secret. Not only are you not my son, but something else.
I'm not your daughter either.
I mean, more poignant, Ron. I have got a son of my own.
No. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, no.
Yes, I'm afraid so. My little boy, what we took you in to replace, you see. My little Theodore. Yeah. When he was 5 years old, only 5, he ran away to sea.
To see what, Dad?
What do you think he ran away to sea? To see a boat, didn't he? Of course he ran away, but he never come back. But I'll tell you this, if he were to walk through that door today, I would love him and cherish him and look after him more than anybody else.
Quite right, too. It must be very painful walking through a door.
My Theodore would be the only one in my life, I'll tell you that. Oh, if only I could... Hark!
What, Mr. Glum?
Do I hear a knocking at the door?
No?
Do I hear a knocking at the door? Oh, blimey. A knocking at the door, by George! Who can it be at this hour?
Could be nearly anybody. It's only 4:30 in the afternoon.
Go to the door and see.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Glum.
You know, if he does decide to leave, I shan't be as broken-hearted as I thought. And we'll have to keep it going.
Dad! Dad, Mr. Glum. It's a sailor.
It's a sailor. What's his name?
Archie Les. He says on his hat.
Oh, Ron, that's Achilles.
Achilles? The very ship what he sailed on? Oh, my heavens, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him.
Hello. After all this time, here I am.
Oh, my baby wandering son, where hast thou been?
I've been to open the door.
No, you him. Oh, let me look at you. He's come back to please his dear old father in his dotage. Oh, my heart is swelling to bursting. In it. Let me look at you again, my dear boy. Oh, yes. Ron, do you know who this is?
I think I do, Dad.
Well, tell me, let me hear it from your own lips.
It's the nephew of the man in the pub. We were at school together. His name's George. You knew that anyway, didn't you?
How do you mean?
Well, you said. You said, didn't you? There's a knocking on the door by George.
I tried to tell Uncle Ted
Oh,
that...
get out.
Don't be like that. I put this uniform on special.
Get out, never mind the
Do you know how
uniform.
long it takes
Get
to-
out. Well, if Ron won't be separated from me of his own accord, I'll do it for him. I'll make him see me in a different light. Hello, Warburtons. Give me the personnel department, please.
No, Dad, no, I won't do it, Dad, no.
Personnel department, it's Mr. Glum here. That job away from home, what my boy Ron turned down, is it still available? Good.
Where you going, Dad?
Warburtons, where do you think?
I am not taking that job. I'm not taking it.
Oh, no, you're not. I am.
Yeah, Mr. Glum, there's something I've been meaning to ask you for a long time.
Oh, thank you very much, Ted. Another brown, if you will, very quick.
No, not that. It's about that son of yours.
What do you mean, Ron? The one-man depressed area?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, didn't he click for a raffle prize one of the days last month?
Oh, you mean down at the Labour Exchange Christmas raffle? Yes, he did, yeah. Very valuable prize and all. A voucher. A voucher for 17 and sixpence, you know, at one of them shops down by the canal.
What, the Drapers?
No, no.
What, the shoe shop?
No.
What, the chemists?
No!
Which shop, then?
The tattooists.
What, a free tattoo?
He did, and if you'd known the depression and upset and misery that tattoo caused, my dear chap.
Well, why?
Well, you don't know what he had tattooed.
You mean it was a bit near the knuckle?
No, it was just below the elbow, as a matter of fact. Only just 3 words he had tattooed, but oh, when Eth saw this and heard about it, what? She was so upset. I've never seen her so distraught.
Mr. Glum, it's just so dreadful, I can't believe it. My Ron leading a double life.
Come off it, Eth. He can only just manage to lead a single one.
Oh, you explain it then. Why else should he have tattooed on his forearm the words, I love Sue? And my name's Eth.
Heavens, I'll give over crying, Eth. You're making me corns throb. Now, let's get this straight. When did you first see these words on his forearm?
Well, it was on the bus, and Ron was wearing that second-hand jacket what you gave him, and he took it off to see the time on his watch.
Took it off?
Well, the sleeves are a bit long.
Well, you've got to expect something like that when you get a coat off the peg, especially when the cloakroom attendant is watching.
Is she? That's what I want to know. When's he been seeing her? What is she to him? How many more are there?
Let's keep a sense of proportion. Let's try and find out who this Sue is. I mean, most of the local youngsters have got names like Carol or Lana or Claudette. Except the boys, of course. Sue, that's a kind of old-fashioned name, isn't it?
Oh, an older woman. Oh, that's even worse. My Ron playing fast and loose with a woman old enough to be his mother.
Listen, there's no need to get overrung about this. I mean, we'll find out who this Sue is. I'll find out myself. I know my Ron. I'll elicit the information from him obliquely.
How?
I'll bash it out of him.
No, Mr. Glum, that you won't do. I have my pride.
All right, then you bash it out of him.
Well, I shall let him confess it off his own bat. So if you'll be kind enough to leave us alone on this sofa after tea, I shall use all my feminine wiles. From now on, it's woman against woman.
And may the best man win.
Funny, I've had this tune going round and round in my head all evening, and I just can't think of the title. I wonder if you know it, Ron.
No, eh?
I haven't told it to you yet, beloved. I'll sing it to you. It goes da 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 da. Know it, Ron?
Yes, eh?
What is it?
It's the one that goes da 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 da.
I know the tune, dear one. It's the title. It's a girl's name. Sweet something. Da 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 da. Sweet.
Fanny Adam.
No, Ron, it's a single name. A short 3-letter name.
Art.
Ron, that's a boy's name. And would a song be called Sweetheart?
Yes, eh? Sweetheart, sweetheart.
All right, Ed, I'll take over.
Dad!
Yes, Ron, I couldn't help overhearing on account of I was listening. Your fiancée much distress and agitation. Now you've got to make amends.
Amends what, Dad?
Amends nothing. You've got to put it right. Now then, you've got to answer this straightforward, simple question. Why have you got I Love Sue tattooed upon your forearm?
So you found out?
Yes, Ron.
I'm waiting for an answer, Ron.
I can't tell you, Dad. I can't tell you.
Oh, please, Ron.
No use pulling your cap down over your eyes. We're both still here. Now then, answer the question. Why have you got I Love Sue engraved upon yourself?
I can't tell you, Dad. I can't tell you.
Why not?
I'm so ashamed. First of all, I was foolish. Then weak. It all started out as a bit of fun. And then I don't know what happened.
Oh, Ron.
So I can't tell you any more. Don't ask me. If you'll excuse me, I'll go and take the dog for a walk.
Oh, Mr. Glum. He's terribly disturbed, isn't he?
He must be. We haven't got a dog.
I must know more, Mr. Glum, I must.
Wait a minute. There is someone we could ask. It's worth a chance. You know what the old adage says? A shot in the dark is worth two in the bush. Come on, then.
Where are you going, Mr. Glum?
We're going to see that tattooist man. Come on.
Yes, sir. The Rembrandt of the electric needle. That's what they call me. Now, if you look through my book of designs, I'm sure something will strike your fancy. There's everything there, from a portrait of King William of Orange, of glorious memory, to a trellis work of flowering dog roses stretching from clavicle to tummy button.
Yes, well, highly ornamental, I'm sure, but we haven't come here to be artistically perforated.
We are here to require as to a Mr. Ron Glum, whom you did an inscription on his forearm.
Ronald Glum. Oh, yes, the free voucher. Yes, I recall the client now. He had to take his jacket off to shake hands.
Would you happen to know, Mr. Peaseglove, why Ron should choose that particular name?
Oh, most certainly I do. We talked it over fully while I was putting a new needle, and I'd worn out the other one you see on my previous client. Oh, a lovely job that was. A full-sized, multicoloured Lonsdale belt, tattooed right round the waist.
Lummy, that must have been expensive.
Oh, the Duchess has plenty of money.
Please, Mr. Peaseglove, please. Can you tell us everything what Ron told you?
Oh, no, that I cannot do. It would be most unethical. The relationship between tattooist and tattooed is like between doctor and patient.
But you've got to tell us the happiness of two people depends upon it.
I durst not. No, don't ask me to betray a professional confidence, I beg you. It'd be breaking my oath to the Royal Irish School in needlework.
You won't tell us. You'll have to be made to tell us. Come on, talk, or else.
Or else what?
Or else I'll write rude words all over you.
No.
Someone's coming into the shop.
Mr. Tattooist? Mr. Tattooist?
Oh, it's Ron.
Mr. Tattooist? Mr. Tattooed. Yes. Oh. So Mr. Tattooist has told you my secret?
Well, actually, Ron, he refused to betray your secret.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Ed. Did that needle accidentally enter your groin? I do apologise. It will be fixed up at home. Yes, Ron, Mr. Tattooist did tell us your whole story, but we would like to hear it again, in your words.
Well, it's nothing to be proud of. When I came here with my free voucher, Mr. Tattooist asked me what I would like to have inscribed upon me.
For 17 and 6, he was only entitled to a short inscription.
And I couldn't think of one.
So I helped him. I told him that what people usually have tattooed is I love, and then the name of the object of their affection.
And I had to be honest. When it comes to loving, you have to tell the truth.
And so the name you decided on, Ron, was this Sue?
That's why I'm so ashamed. First of all, I was foolish. Then weak.
You, my baby boy, weak?
Mr. Tattooist had got as far as S-U-E. And then...
He fainted.
I love Sue is not the complete message.
No.
Well, what is it, Ron? I love...
Suet pudding!